on in. Lucky's ready for you. She's on her perch and she's excited to say hello. She's probably waiting to get out, so come on in. Hi, it's Andrea. Welcome to my channel. I am looking forward to showing you my small house tour today. So we have a family of 4 and we live in a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house, and it's about 1,200 square foot. We have lived in the house 20 years. Actually, tomorrow is our 20th anniversary, so looking forward to that. And so I wanted to show you our new remodeled house, and we've been working on this house like off and on for definitely, like, we've been planning since before the pandemic, and I feel like around 2017. So probably going on 10 years, like actually planning with the architect and things like that. But it is a very long story of how we got here. But you can see behind me the garage, and I'm going to take you into the house and I'm going to do a small house tour for you today. And I'm really looking forward to showing you our house. And I just wanted to welcome you. If you haven't been to my channel before, I'm Andrea, and I share authentic stories, travel experiences, and tips on navigating life and money. And I'm really excited to welcome you to my channel. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I'd love to have you be part of our channel and the community here. And I just wanted to say welcome, and I look forward to showing you the house. All right, let me show you the house. So we have one big great room that we created, and you're looking basically into the kitchen because the living room is right here and you can't really see that. So I'm gonna bring you in and I'm gonna close the door and we'll get started. Lucky's saying hi, huh? Are you saying hi to everybody? Are you the good girl? I decided to back up and take a quick video of our living room, and then I'm gonna go into this is kind of a fun view because it's of our living room and into the dining room on the other opposite end. And okay, so I got a great deal on these living room couches, and I got them on offer up. Oh, Lucky's saying hi. You saying hi to everybody? I know we haven't gone on your walk yet, have we? I know, we need to do that, don't we? You want to say hi again? Oops, where you go? Okay, so I don't actually recall if it was like $200, but I got these couches just a great deal, which is wonderful because she purchased on them. And so it would really be a bummer if they were really expensive, because I am quite sure she's gonna ruin them. But for 200 bucks, you know, it's okay. They're Lucky's couches. The only thing that does bother me is right over there on the sill. I have not done a great job of protecting that sill. So when she jumps up, there's a chair over there that you can't see in the frame. And she enjoys barking at the cats that are across the street, but she likes to get up on the sill. But anyway, that's what happens when you have dogs. Okay, what else was I gonna show you? Let me see. Okay, we picked out these windows. And my husband actually chose this design where you can't totally see it. Right now there's basically like the top down, bottom up, it's not a curtain, but that is in the way. But this window is actually, you know, there's 3 windows because it's 1, 2, 3. And I really wanted the larger windows to have a little bit more space and look outside. But my husband was thinking it would be great if we had a little bit of dimension and had that breakage with that kind of third window. So he actually chose that design, which I think it turned out really great. And as I would kind of, let me see, actually, I think what I'll do is I'll tell you, so my husband had been wanting the Lazy Boy chair. It's not actually Lazy Boy, I think it's a different brand, but this type of chair, and it has heat and, you know, little lumbar support, and he just loves it. And I'm so glad he finally got it, because through the remodel, we actually, you know, he didn't get paid through the remodel. He's a contractor, and so he did his work for free, even though, of course, this whole project was not free. And he was able to get this chair out of the deal. So definitely he got the low end of the deal from a monetary standpoint, but we got it. I'm just so grateful for all the hard work. In fact, actually, I'll tell you a quick story. So we did the remodel he did the remodel this last summer. And if you've been following the channel at all, I did share a little bit about how my youngest son and I we took off and went to Japan for 3 weeks to kind of get out of my oldest boy's hair and my husband's while they were working on the remodel, because we couldn't live in the house. We literally remodeled the house to the studs, and then you know, studs out, and so there was of course no place to live, because we did the whole house at the same time. Anyway, my youngest son and I were gone, and then my husband was here working every single day this summer. I think he started around June 15th or a little bit after that, and literally did not stop until I think it was mid-September. It was when he finished up the project. And I just remember coming home and him just like every single day, just getting up and just going and going. And just, I couldn't even believe, I've never been more proud of my husband, because he literally just like went complete gangbusters. And so it is a little bit of consolation that he got the chair, but I mean, I was grateful that he at least got something, because he'd been honestly wanting this chair or a chair like this, because it has this special like back down, feet up, I don't even know. And so he got this chair. Anyway, all right, I'm looking into the kitchen right now, and we did reuse this light in the dining room. I don't have the light on right now, but I think I'm pointing to it correctly. So we reused that one, so that actually we didn't pay any more money for that. We have the same dining room set that we'd had before. Both of those things eventually we do want to redo, but right now we did have to take out, we mostly paid cash, but we did have to take out a loan for part of the work. And maybe I'll do a video on the monetary part of it, so I'm gonna hold that back for now. Okay, and then you can see our beautiful island, and I think I'm gonna try to get closer. Just really quick, you can I'll probably turn on the island lights here before I go any further, because I want you to see those. Actually, I don't know why I didn't have them on before. Okay, so I turned both of them on. I turned the dining room light on and the island lights. So as I mentioned, I'm actually gonna go, I told you I was gonna go closer, and then I didn't actually move the camera. All right, so I think we'll do it right from right here. Okay, so actually, since you can see the vault from this direction, one of the big things that we did do in the remodel is we had a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, we have a 3-bedroom, 1-bath home, but it was a Rambler. It is a Rambler, I guess, but it was just a regular Rambler with I think Jeff says it's called stick frame. And we had these new trusses put in. So he cut his company my husband works for a construction company, and they actually cut off the roof and then brought in these trusses, and it was an absolute beast. And I didn't ask him if I could say his name, so I won't say the construction team's name, but they worked really hard, and it was a lot of hard work. So I'm very grateful for their hard work. So they put these trusses in, and we did this. They had this design made with the trusses being vaulted in here, and we only had just a flat ceiling before, and they were, of course, lower in height. And so this has been really nice to have this like new height and vault in the great room, if you will. So wanted just to share a couple things here. So we had actually, I don't know if you can quite see it, I'll try to go closer so you can see. The bottom cabinets are actually blue, and then I'm sure you can see that the top cabinets are gray. Actually, let me turn this because I'm not sure you can actually see. Probably you can see it now. The top cabinets are gray, and my husband, I thought I actually picked out the blue, and then he was telling the story to a friend of mine, and he said he had saw the blue in another home, and so he had suggested it, but I absolutely love it. So maybe I just thought I picked it out because I just love it so much. And so we decided together, we agreed upon the blue on the bottom, and then so my husband had asked me, do you want this cabinet here, the pantry cabinet? I'm pretty sure you can see it. That's the cabinet right here, the big one. He asked me if I wanted that pantry cabinet blue or gray. And I thought, let's do that one gray. And even though it's, goes between the top and the bottom, at least I like that it's bookending it. And also with the silver or stainless steel refrigerator, I like that view as well, because it has kind of a bookend of silver, gray, and then the blue is below. So it's not too much blue, but yet it really gives it some difference and style from our viewpoint. And then we did the white, actually I think it's quartz. I actually don't know what stone it is. I think it's quartz, countertop. And we really did a great, one of the things I was really worried about for the remodel is because I wanted to stay married after it was done, so I didn't want to argue about everything. And I was really worried about that because we remodeled our house to the studs. So there was a lot of decisions. And I was like, we'd been waiting. I told you we've been married 20 years tomorrow. And so I have been waiting. We lived in this house, the house we had before. This house is a 1962 house, I believe. So everything was original wiring, original cabinets, original flooring, original everything. Everything was original. And we really hadn't done, I had refinished the original hardwood floors, and we had painted, we'd got new doors. We had the white doors. Actually, the doors we have in our home actually are the doors we had in the remodel. Well, it's not fair to call it a remodel. This is a remodel. Anyway, I was worried about our choices. I was worried about making these decisions, but basically I was so proud of us. So our biggest fight was about the time, the duration. Like I told you, he was going gangbusters. He's just like going for it. Well, at some point, then I have to go gangbusters because I helped paint. I did a lot of painting. I think most of the painting. He'll probably say he did a lot of it. I feel like I did most of the painting. But anyway, he did the ceilings. He did the ceilings in here, which I really didn't want to do. So I am really grateful he did the ceilings. But anyway, so at some point we were, I was upset because I was like, this is just so much hard work. And this is just so much years. This is just, I'm exhausted because I still had a job and I worked every single day at that job. And then I came home and worked on this job. So anyway, he was right ultimately about the duration and about the timing and how fast to go. But it was really hard because I was just like, oh my gosh, he wants to go so fast. Anyway, so the decisions that I'm trying to tell you about is that I was worried about those, but thankfully that actually turned out to be, I mean, he gave in. Sometimes I like, okay, I don't really care. Or we really just like, we would work to find whatever we could so we could agree. And I was just honestly, I was overjoyed. And one thing I haven't talked about yet that I'm gonna just pause a minute and mention is that I mentioned at the beginning of this video that we started around 2017. And in that process, we were praying because I mean, it was really a hard decision to know what to do, how much to spend. And originally we had actually considered bulldozing this house and rebuilding it on our same property, or building a new home on our property because we live on a half acre. And we failed septic. We couldn't change the footprint. And so I'm telling you this story in 20 seconds, but this part of the story in 20 seconds, but I will tell you the whole process was years, many years. Like, I think I just kind of mentioned almost 10. And through the whole process, we were praying and we're like, Lord, we just don't fully know what to do. You have to direct us. And I have to tell you, like, for this part of our story, in our marriage, I don't really feel, I cannot say like he really spoke or like directed, but basically we just kind of like one foot in front of the other, and we're like, Lord, lead us, Lord, lead us. And ultimately, because we failed septic, that that was an answer, because we could not bulldoze and rebuild. We had to figure out what we're going to do with the property as it was. Well, ultimately, okay, there's two things the Lord actually really provided. That so we had 2 trees on the property that at some point in the middle of this process we took down. One of them in our back here was completely rotted, and if it would have fallen on our home, it could have fallen on our home. And you know, yes, we have insurance, but you know, that was an answer to prayer, because if you don't want to be without a house. And then one other tree, I think was also rotted, but I'm forgetting a little bit, but I know that one was totally rotted. And if it would have fallen, it was a big one and it was really close to our house. And so that was definitely an answer to prayer. And so, and then also we just saved money. We just, so actually I didn't mention, so in 2015 so a little bit over 10 years ago, I might have my dates a little bit wrong, we actually paid off our home. And so we were able to save our mortgage, the money we were putting towards our mortgage from that point. And so we've been just saving, because we didn't know if it was going to be a bulldoze and rebuild or a remodel or whatever. So we've been just saving and saving and saving as much as we could, you know, bonuses and things like that whenever we could, because we just didn't know what we were going to do. And, you know, and then through the pandemic, we actually put the project on hold during the pandemic, because the prices were so high. So we had started with I think I mentioned 2017, we started with our architect, and then basically when we got a little bit far in with the architect, and we, you know, gotten some estimates, and then the pandemic happened, and it was just like we just hadn't like totally fully pulled the trigger. And then the prices just skyrocketed for raw materials and things like that, and we just like, we cannot afford this, we just can't do it right now. And we didn't have, you know, we didn't have a ton saved, but more than that, it was literally the raw materials, you know, through the pandemic had just gone up so much. So we're like, okay, we're gonna just put it on hold. And we, you know, Jeffrey actually wasn't working through the pandemic, if I remember correctly. And so then after the pandemic, we just kept saving and kind of restarted our thought process. And then we were like, okay. And actually through this process, actually before the pandemic, during the pandemic, and a little bit after the pandemic is actually when the septic situation happened. And so it was actually, some of this story was about the septic too, is that the failing of the septic was a multi-year process. And when we had to get we had these humongous holes in our yard for over like 2 years, 2 winters, I think. I mean, it was crazy. These like 6-foot crazy winter water holes or whatever. And then we failed. So anyway, okay, what am I gonna show you next? Because I wanna keep going. Let me bring you into the kitchen. Actually, I brought you into the dining room so I can tell you a tiny bit. Oh, I'll show you my plants too. I told you, if you saw my video last night, I told you, hey, let me tell you about my plants, and I'll also talk to you about my our fireplace. And yes, there are 2 TVs in our living room. My husband likes to watch football, and so he watches the primary game and then the secondary game. Crazy thing is, I use it when I work out, because I like to watch a video for workout, and I like to watch, you know, have a little whatever video or whatever. So sometimes I do it too. Anyway, our fireplace, we actually we didn't do anything to, we reused it. The mantle, the stone. Now we did get a new insert. So I will say I don't want to say we're disappointed by our insert, but our previous insert that, you know, we literally, it's been well over 20 years old, because it was before we got married that it was purchased. So maybe 30 years old. So we were like, it's time. But part of the piece that we didn't really think about is that we thought the technology would be increased enough that we didn't necessarily miss the size. Our previous one was a little bit larger, and this fireplace is a little smaller. And so we thought it would be okay because the technology maybe had changed, but I feel like that it's not a regret, but it is smaller and it's been a little bit of an adjustment. I guess I'll say that. It's been a little bit of an adjustment. And it does have a fan. Our previous one did not have a fan, so there's that. Okay, I think I'm gonna do a whole video about this beautiful picture right here. So I actually think I'm not gonna say too much. I will say this gorgeous picture right here, which now I'm really far from it, so I hope you can see it well, is from my dad for my 50th birthday. From my family. They packaged it all up and sent it to me, and it means the world to me. So Dad, thank you so much for sending that to me for my 50th. I can't even tell you how much it means to me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I think that's all I wanted to mention regarding the living room. So, and I got my plants, they're so fun. I just decided I wanted plants up there, so I put plants up there. Yes, I have to get a ladder out to water them, and it's on me, so it was my choice. Okay, I'm gonna turn the camera, and I will tell you a little bit about the LG, the appliances. I don't know how much you can see them all right now, but I guess you can. I think that plant's in the way of the stove, but basically I just want to tell you that I was really grateful. I feel like the Lord provided for our appliances because we had been looking, and I love OfferUp. I love Facebook Marketplace for items. So I was thinking, well, maybe I can find all of our appliances, you know, scratch and dent or whatever, but I didn't want a set. So that was a little bit challenging. So, well, and actually you might see that the stove and the microwave are actually the same, and the LG dishwasher and fridge are the same. And the reason we did that is we really just wanted a bottom element burner in the stove, and LG has top burner element. I think I have this right. It was one of those reasons. Had to do with the fact, so we at least have matching microwave and stove, and it was our choice. We wanted to do that. And then you may be able to see that this stove and the microwave do have the stainless steel elements on the border, so that was good enough for us. I mentioned last night in my video that, and you may not have seen that, so I'm just going to tell you that the LG has the craft ice. My husband had to have that, and actually it's really wonderful. We've already had 2 craft ice. We've had to call them for warranty. This is our 3rd one. 1, 2, I think. Okay, it's at least 2. Now I can't remember, but it's this current one. The reason I think I'm stuttering is because it's actually almost going out again. So we've actually called the repairman, and then it stopped misbehaving. And so anyway, okay, you might be able to see it. My sink faucet is one of the ones my dad showed me and my dad and family have. And also we saw one in an Airbnb in Florida, and I just absolutely love it. So we had to get that one. And I feel like, oh, I didn't tell you about my pendants. Okay, so I will have to tell you about my pendants. I actually chose the pendants, and I got them off in Wayfair. So I really wanted these really expensive, gorgeous pendants. They were $500 pendant, and I think that wasn't the full cost. And they were literally absolutely gorgeous. And maybe, you know, when I pay off our loan, maybe, you know, eventually I might do some of these spruce silk things eventually. But honestly, I'm really happy with how they turned out. But I was like, okay, let me just find a little bit less expensive. Okay, way less expensive, because I think these are only like 80 or 100 each compared to 500 each. Anyway, and I bought them, and they looked really great in the pictures on Wayfair. And when I brought them home, if you can kind of appreciate, they're quite large. The pendants are actually quite large. So I held one up to Jeff, and he was like, no, that is not happening. And I was like, well, how about we just try it? And then, you know, I've already paid for them, and we can just use them. And then if we really, really hate them in 6 months, let's get new ones. I was like, let's just try them. Let's just try. And so he put them in for me, and I like how he spaced them, actually. I don't know if I wanted him to have that spacing. I think I wanted him a little closer, but actually I really like how he spaced it. And then he loves them. So it really worked out great. And that pendant over the kitchen sink is also the same one. So I feel like that was really a great deal. Okay, I think that's all I want to mention in the kitchen. And I mentioned to you, I think I will, I'll show you one quick thing on this side. Okay, I did not have plants in our house before the remodel, and I have really enjoyed getting plants. Now, I maybe have gone a little overboard, you know, maybe don't tell Jeffrey about that one, but I do feel like I've really enjoyed the process of the plants. And so there's a jade plant right there. I think you can see it right there. So that jade plant, I actually got that jade plant for free. I had found a gal that traded me cedar saplings for her plants. And I was happy to give away my cedar saplings because there are many on my property. And also that jade plant is just absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if you can really see it, and I'm not sure I'm gonna go any closer tonight. Maybe another day up. And then also I got this one, actually, the Monstera was, I think it was 100. I got that one off Facebook Marketplace for someone who was moving, but the pot is really great. It's just a great pot with stand, and so I'm really grateful for that. Okay, let's go to the rest of the house. See if I can, actually, I'll just do a quick hello, as I try to walk down the hallway. Becky, you want to come with me? We're going to come say hi to everybody. Can I see you? I actually don't know. All right. Here is my gorgeous bathroom. I only have one bathroom, so I had to make it gorgeous. Let me see, I think we're gonna go from there. All right. Okay. I am looking forward to telling you about my bathroom. Let me see if I can show you real quick my counters in here. Pretty, 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 pretty. Hubby actually picked out this particular one, but I really like it too. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about the tile and the bathroom in here. And I don't know if you can quite see it, but I did get a bidet in here. Can you see it? There she is. There's my bidet. All right. Okay, so the biggest story in the bathroom has to do with those tiles right there. So I actually moved every single one of those tiles, probably multiple times. My husband doesn't love doing tiles. He doesn't love doing tiling, or maybe he just told me that. I don't even know. But these tiles are humongous and very heavy. So actually, let me just take you a little bit closer so you can see. So the design of these tiles is very, I did this design. I mean, of course I had to match them with the already existing, I think these are quartz as well. But basically, so I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna take you back so I can tell you the story. So basically each tile, you know, they all come in a box. I moved so many boxes of tile in Home Depot, back to Home Depot. So because I've never done this, and Jeffrey was just kind of like, yep, this is your project. And I'm like, oh, great. Okay, fine. So he'd done a lot. So at that point, I'm like, okay, I'll try. I'll try. And so I had to you know, what I didn't know about tile is that Home Depot doesn't organize the tile boxes so that you can have a perfectly organized and perfectly designed, you know, walls based on the order of the boxes in Home Depot. I do now. And I also didn't understand that if you see the same design on the tile on the top tile, it's the same tile, and you don't want the same tile in all of your tiles. I don't know, someone who does tile, you're like, yeah, of course, Andrea, but when you haven't done it, you don't know. So anyway, I learned a lot through that process, and I helped my husband, you know, do the mudding and all the thing, but mainly I did the design, and then I chose this particular shower door. The one thing about the shower door is that Jeff picked out the one that's basically designed for a shower and not for a bathtub, because if you see how high, how tall this bar is, it really should be more like right here, but it ultimately worked out. And actually, let me take you a little bit closer so I can show you. My husband had to have this rain head, which I give him a hard time about because it actually was $600, but my fixtures probably were more. I guess since I already started telling you, I will tell you the entire fixtures, all of them were $3,500, which, you know, you might either say, oh, that's not too bad for all of them, or you might be like, $3,500 for all of them. We were like, oh my gosh, $35, $100 for all of them. That was a lot of money. But we have one bathroom, so we got what we wanted. In fact, actually, I didn't even tell you about, we have heated floors. So I actually helped lay the floors. I actually didn't do the design in here. I did the design of the tiles in the laundry room, but it still took a lot of effort. It's funny, you look at tile and you kind of don't realize how much work it is, and I have a totally new appreciation for tile. Okay, and I think it's just porcelain tile, the flooring. The flooring actually was not very expensive, but it was the larger ones, which I did like, and also it's got the heated floors, so that's wonderful. The other thing about this bathroom that's for me special is that we've got the double side mirror, so when I want to do my hair, I don't know if you can see this, but you can see the back, so that's kind of nice. I do have to take a little doing, but I can see the back and of my hair, and I like that. And then this has the feature for the steam, and I do really like that. Now this one I think could have gone on the wall, but we didn't actually have enough space because the laundry room's on the other side, so we couldn't actually put it into the wall. So it just is sitting outside the wall. But we actually, our previous one in the bathroom was the same way, and we really like the medicine cabinet because we don't have a lot of storage in the home, and so we like the extra storage just like right here, and we're just used to that, so we really wanted that. So, and then we agreed upon the sink, this design. We had the cold and hot last in our previous bathroom, but we agreed totally we wanted just the one faucet. And then it is the same brand. I think it actually is a different design because I don't know if they had the exact one we wanted, but anyway, of course it's far enough apart, and unless I told you, you wouldn't even have known. And then we did do the lighter blue base in here for the cabinets in the bathroom. And I feel like it really works well with the gray in the counter, and then the gray in the floor. So if you can kind of see in the porcelain, the gray. I just feel like this turned out, but it also is not just gray. So the light blue, I feel like really works well. And our previous bathroom was blue, a different, much different color blue, but I was happy with how this turned out. All right, let's go check out let's go check out another room. All right, big guy, you going outside? And here's my youngest child's room. And we've got his computer set up here. And then we've also got his snowboard jacket, his Captain America shield, and then we've got we had in our previous house, we had the same configuration. There's no difference in the configuration of the actual closets, but the previous configuration was a door, so it was a door that swung out. And then one other thing I wanted to show you here is I picked out this more neutral, in comparison, I'll show you, this is more neutral blind, but I did specifically pick it out. I even got the swatches and picked it out, partly because I really wanted just to keep it neutral, but I did like the natural weave, or the natural cloth, I guess. Let me see if I can get a little closer so I can show you. I don't know if you can see it very, very well there, but anyway. And then one other quick thing I wanted to show you is that in every one of our bedrooms, we actually got these really nice ceiling fans. And my youngest child, he is like, has the fan blowing full blast. It is totally crazy. So my husband even's like, turn that thing down. And I'm like, turn that thing down. Just because it's like, we don't understand how he can handle it. It's like blowing so heavy. But that's him. And he has a fan now. So he has a fan now. So there we go. All right, on to the other bedroom. So I told you there's 3 bedrooms. So this is actually my oldest child's room, and got his bed. And I will show you the difference in the curtains here, the blinds, and then also his desk setup. And he's got a little safe there for, he got that for Christmas from my husband, or he picked it out, I guess, from us, from my husband. And then I have to show you this wall because you can see here, it's actually the same blue, but with the lighting, it doesn't look like the same blue. So I actually painted this. I picked out the blue. I picked out the blue to match these blinds. And I hope you can see the blinds because I absolutely love this fabric. Can you see how gorgeous that is? I just absolutely love it. You know, we have a simple house, but it is, I did pick a few different ways to spruce it up. As you see, there's nothing on the walls, but I am totally okay with that, especially now because my oldest is a junior now, so that's great. And you know, at some point probably I'll have this room as my office, but not yet, of course. And this wall I actually painted, I painted the same color as this wall, and then also it's actually, oh no, I did that gray, that's right. But I wanted it so that when you're in, my husband wanted this to be almost all the gray, and I was like, no, I don't want all gray. And so what I did is when you come in, it's gray, and when you go out, it's blue. So this wall, and then of course those walls are all blue. And so I love how that worked out from a dimensional aspect, I guess. And I just absolutely love this blue. It's charcoal gray blue. I think charcoal blue. I think it says charcoal, but anyway, I just loved how with the light, I think it's turning out to, looks actually a little lighter than it actually is in person. But you can see from that's a little bit closer. It's actually kind of in between both of those because there's no light on that and there's lots of light on here. But anyway, I'm gonna put the camera up. There is a ceiling fan in this room as well, which we didn't have any ceiling fans. And then we have the can lights in here. We didn't have can lights in our previous home. It was all just, you know, regular ceiling lights. All right, into the last bedroom. All right, let's go into our bedroom. Come on in. All right. This is hubby and I's bedroom. All right, and oh, lucky girl, she's saying hi to everybody. Yes, she is. One of the things I wanted to highlight in our room is that we got these cat curtains. So I'm really actually like thrilled with these curtains. In fact, let me see if I'll bring it closer so you can see them a little bit better. So they're blackout curtains, and I was able to get these. These are custom Calico Corner curtains, but I was able to get them for like $75. It was like so cheap. I found this lady on OfferUp, actually for Facebook. It was Facebook Marketplace, and they were redoing their, I think it was guest bedroom, and actually because they had bought this home and the previous owner had literally redone all of the curtains, these custom curtains, and she was like taking down almost all of them, which I was like, oh my gosh, can you even imagine like redoing the curtains, because curtains are so expensive. And then the new owner is like taking them down. I'm like, oh my gosh, but I benefited because I absolutely love them. They work perfectly in our room here. And so they're blackout curtains, and then I put those, Jeff helped me put them on this black rod with those rings. And anyway, so actually what I was telling you is her daughter wanted a different look. So this is perfect for us, but not for her. I think it was teenage daughter. So our benefit. And then I think you can see it okay. The green, the wall, Jeff just wanted one wall. I love this green. Of course, I probably wouldn't have done all the walls either, but the accent wall is a jade green. It's actually Bear's 2026 color of the year. So I was like, you know, I'm just so with it, so hip. So I like spruce of things, but I'm, you know, it's all good. Okay, so I wanted to show you that our bedroom bed and furniture is all the same that we had before the remodel. That was one thing I really wanted, but I was also like willing to let that desire go for now because as I mentioned, we had to get out a loan to finish the home. So I'm hoping a few of these things I'll redo, but I'm of course thoroughly thrilled. In fact, actually I'm looking at the doors right now, and I realized I didn't really talk to you and show you the doors very much. So these doors are actually from our previous home. In fact, let me just quickly, so all these doors, it's maybe not the best idea. So all of these are actually Jeff repainted and brought in from our previous home, or from the house before it was remodeled. So we really saved quite a bit on this, and actually they're solid. Yeah, these are all solid doors. So they were really nice. And in fact, part of the reason we did it was because Home Depot was, this particular one was no longer, they weren't doing this particular one or something. Anyway, okay, and then one other thing I wanted to show you is we don't have, of course, a huge house. We don't have a huge master bedroom closet, but my husband did redo. So this whole closet is both of ours. But what my husband did, so I'm gonna probably have to do an actual closet video, but I'll just quickly show you here, because this is my side, up until here. This is my side. It goes all the way up. I don't know if you can really see it, but there's more shelves here. Unfortunately, I have not really, since moving in September, October, I have not fully even utilized my space yet. But one thing he did do, because I'm tall, I chose to he actually put this rod up here high for me, because I can reach in totally fine, and this is accessible for me. And then this gives me a little bit more space. You can see here he put that means as I mentioned, my configuration is not super great and I gotta redo it, but I have my shoes a little bit higher, and then I can still have space underneath for more shoes. So he has, let me see if you can see these. I have shelves here, and they go that's my doggy girl, and they go are you making noise? What are you doing? What are you doing? Are you silly? Are you the good girl? Yes, I know. Tour. Okay, that is my small house tour for you today. We live in a 1,200 square foot home for 4 of us, 1 bath, and it's almost paid off. We do have a small loan, and I'll maybe go through the finances in another video, because as you see, this one's already too long. But thank you so much. If you've hung in here, you're either my mother or one of my close friends, and thank you so much, because it's been fun to show you our house. So thank you so much. And if you haven't already, please subscribe, because if you made it this long and haven't subscribed, you are a trooper. All right, thanks so much. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. And this picture here that you're seeing, I've actually owned. My husband got that for me. It's a Don Dalkey print. It's like one of those that it's an oil and canvas print. And I really wanted it for my art. We went on a Caribbean cruise. Actually, for our honeymoon, we went to St. Thomas, and Don Dalkey's had at the time a storefront or whatever, and it was expensive for us at the time. That front picture right there was $1,500, and I just could not stomach it. I couldn't, bite the bullet and buy it. But my husband actually, I don't actually remember which anniversary it was or which birthday it was, but it was before our 5th anniversary, and I was so grateful because he had done that for me, and I just couldn't pull the trigger, and he did. And so I was just so grateful, and I just absolutely love this picture. It was in our bedroom before the remodel, and then now we've brought it out here and put it in the living room. So I just think it's really beautiful with the light and how Don Dalkey does his work. Okay,